I'm about to say something my childhood self would never have envisioned. Um, my Devar is related to March Madness. My childhood self was not very athletic. I continue not to be athletic, um, and did not watch any sports on TV. And now sports are constantly playing in my house. Surprise to me. Um, but marrying an athlete will do that to you. Uh, so today's parsha is focused on still this creation of the tabernacle. And we really have at the head of that Itamar, son of Aharon, who is directing all this activity. And under that is Bezalel and Oholiab. And to me, the contrast between what they bring to this project is really stark. We have this Hovot Natan Belibo, whoever put it in his heart to teach, and both Bezalel and Oholiab are moved to teach. Their hearts are the same in that way, but Bezalel has this pedigree. Bezalel is the son of Uri, son of Hur, who a midrash says died trying to prevent the sin of the golden calf. Bezalel is part of the tribe of Judah. Here we are, the Jews, named for that tribe. There's a pedigree that comes with Bezalel. And Oholiab is the son of Ahisamech, the tribe of Dan. And the rabbis say, Rashi says specifically, he was the son of the handmaiden of Bilhah. And if we know that Rachel was beloved and her children were beloved, and Leah's children were honored, that to be the child of a handmaid comes with a different kind of baggage than to have behind you the ancestor who died trying to prevent the sin of the golden calf. So we have these two people, one who comes with pedigree and one who comes without. The Zohar teaches that Bezalel had the Kabbalistic character of the right side of the Kabbalah, love and kindness, and all who know Judaism favors the right hand greatly, whereas Oholiab is said to have the left side, that he's disciplined, but he doesn't have that sort of aura of all the good things from the right side, this loving kindness coming off of him. And yet, together, they direct the making of the tabernacle, and that the Rambam says, all whose hearts were stirred up came to build. And what was stirred up was the capacity to do work that you've never before learned to do. That it wasn't that they came knowing how to make a tabernacle, but what was stirred in their hearts was a willingness to say, I have the capacity to learn. And I love that. It makes me think of Carol Dweck, for those of you who are familiar with her work, and this idea of there are some people who think I am smart because I get it right. And so when I don't get it right, that teaches me I'm not smart. People who shy away from challenges because they prove that they are not smart or brave or whatever it is the challenge might prove or not prove about themselves. And other people who are incremental theorists who believe they get smarter or braver or better at things by challenging themselves. And so here are all these people who Carol Dweck would say are incremental theorists who are stirred up in their hearts, the capacity to do work they've never before learned. They're confident in their ability to learn. Rashi says there's three kinds of things that you can learn. There's chokhmah, the skill you learn from others. There is teruvah, the things you learn from your own insight and experience. And there's da'at, some divine inspiration, source unknown that just comes to you. And that actually in the weekday Amida, we continue to pray for all three of these. So we're bringing together people who have a willingness to keep learning, and they're going to learn from others. They're going to experience this moment of their own insight. Maybe they'll find some divine inspiration. The thing that I really find meaningful is that there's room for everyone. Everyone whose heart moves them is coming together. There are people who are supporters, who are moved to give. There are people who are moved to do the work. There are people who move to teach the work. There's this oversight. It's said that the women, some of them were so moved, they were spinning the wool while it was still on the goats. That's from Talmud Shabbat. what we're creating is not just a community, but a team. And I think teams have a lot to offer that community sometimes does not provide. That in community, we've got everybody trying to create space for themselves and their needs and to create space for everybody. But in a team, we have a goal. And that unifying goal and everybody contributing to that goal creates a power that is not there just in community. And the tabernacle gave the Israelites an opportunity to work as a team. And they had coaches. They had Bezalel and Oholiab. They had giving them skills. They had everybody contributing what they could who wanted to do the work. They had other people who were boosters, who were providing the support to make the work happen. This is the first team. And this idea of the Israelites' first team experience made me think about what it's like to live with an athlete who is a team player. Somebody who goes out of their way to pay attention to the big needs and to pitch in where they're needed. And the power of teams and what they bring us in general. Teams build communication skills because you have to communicate with the people because everybody's contributing their special part. Not everybody's doing the same thing. That you learn to take decisive action, that there is a goal you have, and sometimes you just have to use whatever little resource you have and use it in a specific way to try and get toward that goal. You have to manage your time because that buzzer is going to go off. You don't want to be late. And teams let you define yourself outside the name you bring with you. And I almost brought a poem, and I decided that's a step too far. But this idea that we come with our lineage, our ancestors, but within a team, we define ourselves by how we're contributing to that team. And the importance of that ability to define yourself and to maybe even create found family as you work together on something. Aesop's fable tells of a parent who has their children bring a bundle of sticks and they try to break the bundle of sticks and it's too hard, and then they show how you can take each stick individually and break it. The power of us working together. Yaakov Perlman, being a very newish, nerdy Jewish man, tested this and found that if you took 7 sticks, it was 80 times as hard to break the bundle as each individual stick. 80 times as hard. The power that comes from working together and from being united. When I think of all that teams give us, I'm really sad for the 10 NCAA trans athletes who no longer have their team. People talk about their fear that women are losing their spaces to play, but this is not an epidemic of trans athletes. This is 10 NCAA athletes out of 500,000 women athletes. A small percent. And I don't think anybody deserves teams more. We know that LGBTQ people are affected by the political climates. 90% have said they're negatively affected by what's going on in politics right now. Trans youth have 46% of them have considered suicide in the past year, and 14 to 16% of 13 to 17-year-old trans and non-binary youth have attempted suicide. When we think of all the things that come from being in teams, the found family, the ability to define yourself by the work you do, by the communication skills and ability to take decisive action that come from that team opportunity, I hope we will consider who do we need to have the opportunity to be in. Gotcha.